Welcome to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast. I'm Marcey Rader, speaker, coach, and author, helping you reclaim your workday before it runs off with your sanity. Here, you'll learn sustainable habits to create a life you love without the overwhelm. Let's dive in. Today's episode is all about how I minimize digital distractions, the exact ways. Real things you can try today, not pie in the sky theory that doesn't work for anyone. And also just know that these are the things that work for me. They may not work for you, but even if you just tried one. One thing I always say is don't use willpower when you can use apps to save yourself from yourself. Willpower runs out. Guardrails don't. So, number one, limit inputs. I am LinkedIn only. I don't have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I don't have any of them. No accounts. And even with LinkedIn, I don't even have the app on my phone. So the way I use LinkedIn is for my business. I post for my business daily, I'd say 3 or 4 times a week. I go in and will read certain posts. I will comment, and I'm in and out. My total time in LinkedIn is never more than 15 minutes in a day, and some days it's only 3 or 4 minutes. And one way I'm able to do that easily is because I use my follow 50 rule. So I am connected to thousands of people on LinkedIn, but I only follow 50 at a time, sometimes less than 50, never more than 50. And those 50 are my clients that actually post, prospects, conferences I'm getting ready to speak at, or, the associations or companies that hire me to speak at those, and people who post content that I actually really enjoy reading, I get a lot of value from, and everyone else is unfollowed. I'm still connected, they're just not taking up space in my feed. And if you go to your list of people that you're connected to and follow, then all you have to do is unfollow until you get down to, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, whatever's comfortable for you. Because those are the people's feeds that you will see. And it's their comments and their posts that you will see. It's not that I don't love some of the people that I don't follow. It's just that this is my business. There is no emotional attachment. I have some very good friends who I don't follow because when I am on LinkedIn, it is for my business. And the people that I want to see show up in my feed in order for me to read, get value, and make comments on is very thoughtful, very intentional. The second thing I do is, and actually before I go to the second thing, if you are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, those types of things, think about, does this person or do these types of posts make me feel good? Or do they make me feel angry or frustrated? People don't know if you follow them or not. That is hidden. So, just unfollow. You should never be reading anyone's posts that make you feel bad about yourself or angry or like you need to buy more stuff. All right, now we move on to number 2, designing your environment. Imagine with me, you are trying to lose weight and you set up to co-work in a bakery all day. That makes no sense. And the same goes for your digital environment. If you don't want distractions, don't keep them around. So I said I didn't use social media except for LinkedIn. Some people consider YouTube social media. I really consider it more just like television, streaming. I don't do commenting very often in YouTube, so it's not very social to me. It's almost more of a one-way out and a, 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 I'm watching it type of thing going in. But I post to YouTube, not a lot, because I don't do a lot of video for YouTube. I also don't watch a lot of videos on YouTube. And one thing that helps me with that is I use an extension called Unhook, and it blocks recommendations on the sidebar. I don't have a sidebar to look at. So I don't get sucked into the rabbit holes, because that's what I find that happens. They'll go to watch a video, and then there'll be 3 videos on the side. And then they'll start clicking on them. And that's also why if you watch my speaker reel or my TEDx or my video on creating guardrails during vacation, if you're getting that link from me, then I'm actually sending you to my website with a landing page to watch that video, because I don't want to send you to YouTube where you're going to see a bunch of other videos next to it. And so that's my little gift to you. I also listen to podcasts on the Downcast app. And the reason why I use a podcast-specific app like Downcast is that I don't get any ads. I don't get recommendations for there are ads in the podcast themselves, but there's nothing popping up like on Spotify that says, you might like this, or just random, not really random because they're using the algorithm, but just podcasts that I've never heard of that pop up. I don't want endless recommendations. I just want what I choose. And I never have more than 5 podcasts that I'm subscribed to, because I have that kind of brain that I feel like I should listen to them all. So I'm very, very intentional. And once a year, usually in December, I'll delete all of them and then wait 2 or 3 weeks and see if I miss them. And then I'll go back to subscribing. I think using a standing desk also helps from scrolling on my computer, because standing tells your body that you're working and it signifies urgency, whereas sitting is more like rest and leisure. And so, I really don't do a lot of internet surfing. I'm really on my computer for very intentional things. And I honestly think using my standing desk helps with that. And I always pay to avoid any ads, because ads are designed to steal your time and your money. And I'd rather invest a few dollars in the premium version of any app that will take ads away than let someone else hijack my attention. Number 3, I recommend using tech guardrails. I'm going to give 3. I only use 1, but it's because I don't need the other 2 now. I may have needed them in the past. So one thing I do when I remember, because I don't always remember to hit the send later, because it's new-ish for me, but for text messages, if I'm texting another Apple user, then I use the send later, especially if it's in the morning or the middle of the day. I'll try to send that around 4 or 5 p.m. toward the end of someone's workday. And then this way, I'm not starting any kind of chat exchange mid-workday or distracting others when they should be focused. So if I think of something that I want to tell my friend Wendy, then I will, when I remember, because I am not perfect, I will try to schedule it for like 4 or 5 p.m. If it is an Android user, that doesn't always work because you can't send later, but it is something that I am conscious of. Next, there is an app called Freedom, and it's freedom.to. And this is a program that will block distracting sites or even the whole internet for an amount of time that you set. And it runs across devices. So if you start a Freedom block on your laptop, you can't cheat on your phone. And this is something that you can set up completely. You can say, I just want to concentrate for 10 minutes and don't let me surf. Or, it's just, or you can say, I don't want to have access to LinkedIn or Facebook until 10 a.m. Whatever it is, but it's very customizable. And the third one is an app called ClearSpace. And this makes you pause before opening any social media. So it's an app on your phone, and you can set it up to have you do push-ups or squats or even hit a step goal. If you choose 20 push-ups, then it'll make you back up, and it will use the camera feature, and it will, kind of watch you do the push-ups. It'll, trigger the movement will trigger it, and then it will give you your 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long you asked to be on social media. There's another option that just asks you to breathe. Take 3 deep breaths. And my husband uses the deep breaths option, and he said just that alone, about half the time, he decides he didn't even want to open the app in the first place. He just was doing it out of compulsion. And he has found that he spends way less time on Instagram than he used to. And I had another client that she said in about 6 weeks, she thinks she read 3 more books than she normally would because she was using that app. And it was more just about the awareness. So, think about just data. The average person scrolls about 2.5 hours a day and picks up their phone around 150 times. And that's a lot of micro distractions. And if you don't know, then, about your stats, go to your settings and go to your screen time, and it will tell you. My average daily screen time for last week was 2 hours and 55 minutes. But the 2 hours was mostly health and fitness apps. The top apps, and then you can also scroll down and see what your top apps are. And mine were Crossrope, which is my jump rope app, and Obey, which is my video workout app. MyFitnessPal, because I like to log my food. Libby, because I use that for audiobooks. Waze, because that's what I use for getting around town. And then Downcast for podcasts. The last one was Voxer, which I use with my team. And with Voxer, I actually have it set up that I only get notifications from 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And none of those are social media black holes. They're either tools, workouts, or learning. So I encourage you to check yours. Remember, digital distraction isn't about superhuman discipline. It's about setting up your devices and your environment for success. Use apps, but block the noise, pay to skip ads, and make your defaults work for you. Thanks for tuning in to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast. If you got a great tip or insight, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend so more people can learn sustainable habits to create a life they love. Want more like this? Grab my book, Reclaim Your Workday, or connect at helloraderco.com.